Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome to another Indie Game Friday, where each week I take a look at an independent role-playing game. This week we're going to take a look at an RPG that is currently free over on Steam, Dark Descent: The Blue Rose. It was developed by Steve Antoniadis and published by Mini Brute Games, and was released on July 13th, 2017. This appears to be a pretty basic RPG Maker style game with some pretty common JRPG tropes, except that from what I've seen, it's actually very well polished. The description suggests it has a minimum playtime of about 20 hours, and when you take that all together with a free price tag, I'm actually pretty impressed right out of the gate. But while free is free, the question is it worth your time to play? The storyline starts with some sort of war between the Sky World and the realm below, in which the angels and seraphim are struggling against the Abaddon. During the conflict, some of the Sky World folk fall, and turn against their ruling council. The Sky Worlders then send some of their light down to infuse a mortal champion, the Light Bearer. As they do, the Fallen warn that they will unleash their own Dark Bearer in response. The game then fast-forwards to follow the progress of two characters, Michael and Rose, as they journey throughout the world. The gameplay is pretty typical of an RPG Maker-derived game. You wander around various tile-based maps, uncovering items and talking to people. In dungeons and on the overworld, you can encounter random encounters, although some static encounters are also around, visible before you get to them. There can be scripted events on the map screen, and certain areas may only be passed after certain events have taken place. At any time, you can pause the game to adjust your character's inventory and equipment, use skills and such, but you can only save at churches or at magic stones, therefore using a save point system. Combat at first resembles your typical JRPG-style system, where each character is given orders and then unleashes them based on initiative. These can include attacks, special skills, item use, and defending. There's a little bit more complexity, however, in that any time you land a normal attack, you are then shown a random button that you can press. If you do so during the brief time that it's displayed, your character will execute a second attack in combination with the first. This can be done 2 times, for a total of 3 attacks. I actually sort of like this in that it breaks up the usual sit and hammer the attack button until you chew through an entire group thing, requiring you to actually think and interact during combat. After combat, you gain experience, which will automatically level up party members and automatically unlock the main line of skills. Combat rewards can include a number of items that can be used for crafting, to create a number of items that can be used in and out of combat, and eventually be upgraded. Furthermore, some items can be used to improve your weapons and armor. The crafting system is interesting all in all, and it's pretty well implemented, not really requiring much in the way of micromanagement or time out of questing. Aside from the main quests, which are relatively linear, there are a number of bounties and side quests that can grant the party additional items and skills. Exploration is fairly robust without being too much of a drag, although the random encounter frequency in some areas is a little bit on the old school side, which can bog things down for some. Graphically and musically, the Dark Descent seems to lean rather heavily on existing tile and graphic packs, but the actual levels and areas are actually well designed within those constraints, making for a polished, lively, and complex appearance. I've seen a number of RPG Maker style games that use similar graphics, but nowhere near as polished a design, and it really shows in this one. The text, upon which the story relies heavily, is relatively literate, and I only uncovered 1 or 2 minor errors during my brief time playing it, ones which I doubt would even be noticed by most people. One last technical note is that the game has controller support, and it actually pulls it off. I was rather impressed with that considering some of my past experiences with this genre. So yes, is Dark Descent: The Blue Rose worth your time? Well, if you're a fan of JRPGs and RPG Maker style games, I'd say so. I think, personally, the storyline seems a little bit on the cliché side, and though I haven't played completely through the main game, it seems that some of the twists in the storyline are telegraphing so hard that I'd only be surprised if they didn't come to fruition. Still, the writing itself is reasonably competent, and the story is just interesting enough to make me, at least, want to play more, and that's a rare thing for these kinds of games. I've seen worse games in the genre and engine trying to actually sell themselves, sometimes for quite a bit more. Honestly, I'd say this game would be worth paying a few bucks for, and I expect that may be the direction that they're going in, judging from the title. I'll put a link in the description below, of course, for those who want to check it out. For now, this has been the RPG Crawler with Indie Game Friday Dark Descent: The Blue Rose. If you like what you've seen, remember to leave a like, comment if you've got feedback, and subscribe for more RPG content. Until next time, take care and goodbye.